Hey everybody, this is Reverend Kid Holmes. It is 1-9 Wednesday time, and here we are today talking about the difference between the fine line between self-awareness and self-absorption. And do we know where that line is in ourselves? Without being so self-absorbed, but being self-aware that we know where the line is. It is a paradox, yes, and there are times where it is, I think it's vital to be self-absorbed, to be focused on things like working through our grief, paying attention to that and not just brushing it off and saying, oh, I'm going to get through this, but having the self-awareness to say, grief may be something and is, hint, is something that we will deal with as long as we're alive. There are things every day, little things every day that bring us into grief. The remembrances as we grow and as we expand in our consciousness, there are going to be times in our lives that come back to us. This is self-awareness. To say, ooh, wow, yeah, man, I really didn't behave very well. I didn't have self-awareness at that point in my life, and so I behaved probably more out of reaction than actual healthy response. Self-absorption is when we get into the place and kind of tunnel vision of either extreme, to the extreme of I am a horrible, horrible person and I'm never going to do anything right, and those false affirmations or those things that we tell ourselves that don't do anybody any good. They don't do anybody any good. To the other extreme of narcissism, which is everything I do is wonderful, and anything that goes on outside of me that doesn't feel wonderful must be somebody else's fault. Those are the two extremes. So the fine line in the middle is, number one, being willing to get to do a little inquiry, a little self-inquiry. For me, it was many, many years ago when I found myself in certain patterns, behavioral patterns, and I would say, back part of my brain saying, I wonder why I do this. That was the beginning of a very deep and committed spiritual journey many, many years ago. And what I found along the way was, yes, I had many moments of real self-absorption and self-pity and whining and all of those things, and a victim mentality, until my awareness moved me into a place of willingness to see something differently. And then I began to see the patterns and where they came from. And so now I have an awareness and a practiced awareness of, I'm just about to react in a certain way. Why? And the better question is, I'm about to react in a certain way, or I'm about to tell myself something that I've been telling myself for years that is not productive or self-loving. Do I want to stay there? Do I want to stay in that place? And that is the real question to ask. If you take an assessment, just a brief inquiry of where you are right in this moment, is it somewhere you really want to be putting your energy? That's really the bottom line. So with a balance of self-awareness, some self-inquiry in there, and occasionally, being a little absorbed, but not staying there either. We're going to move between all of those things. Day in and day out, we're going to move through them, but it first requires a little inquiry and a willingness to have a little more self-awareness, so that when we show up fully, we become not absorbed. We can be aware of what's going on around us without being absorbed by what's going around us. So it's a fine line. Something to ponder for this 1-9 Wednesday. I thank you for joining me. I thank you for joining me every Wednesday. I thank you for subscribing, liking, sharing the post, going to the Substack, going to the YouTube, where all of these videos live on my YouTube channel, and all of those addresses are in the description of this post. So thank you for being here. Just a little inquiry today. Where do you stand right in this moment? Self-absorption, self-inquiry, self-awareness. None of them are wrong. We're going to move in and out of them. Just be fluid with it. All right. Remember, we are all a part of the one mind, that one consciousness, that one human, spiritual, everything of the all in all part of that consciousness, which means we are all in this together. So kindness does still matter, and love absolutely is, I believe, the only answer. And with a little self-inquiry, some self-awareness, and sometimes some self-absorption around that love is the only answer, you're going to find some things that are pretty amazing going on in this life. So I wish you all love. I love you all dearly. I will see you again next Wednesday. Take care.